Dan Hooker's out of his co-main event matchup versus Bobby Green at this week's fight night in Austin. You all know that, obviously. Many fighters did step up asking to be the opponent. Rafael Dos Anjos, Terrence McKinney, Jared Gordon, just to name a few. However, the UFC picked Jalin Turner. Guys, did they make the right call? Are you in or are you out? Goes.
I'm okay with it. You know me, I want the fairest fight, the best representation of who each fighter is. If you look at RDA and his skill set, it's so much different than Dan Hooker. So that I think would be a little too much. Jalen Turner's attack is a little bit more similar to what Bobby Green was probably preparing for. However, I would have gone with Jared Gordon, man. When you think about it, he just fought, so he's probably in somewhat good shape. They've already prepared for each other, so it's not like night and day or anything like that. And they have unfinished business. I think that probably would have been the best bet, but I'm okay with where they ended up.
Mm-hmm. All right, Danny.
I think this is the best option available. Obviously, a Dan Hooker fight was the fight to make, but if you look at what the options were after that, I think this is the best one. I think this is the best one. You can make cases for others, but if you keep in mind the rankings, if you keep in mind action, I think this is the best option. So I absolutely love it. I think we went from an A matchup to a B plus matchup here.
All right, Mike, how about you?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Danny. I mean, to have someone step in on less than 2 weeks notice, 10 days or whatever, and have them still be ranked above Bobby Green, where you're giving him that incentive. I know according to the UFC's rankings, at least Dan Hooker was 9, Jalin Turner is 12. And Bobby Green is 13. So you're giving him still the step up he wants, an upside fight. He said, he doesn't want any more of these boring wrestlers or whatever. Like, he's had to fight the Islam Makhachevs, the Grant Dawsons, who, didn't get the chance to take him down before he finished him. But that style, Jalin Turner is going to strike with him. From the sounds of it, as you saw, like this fight get announced, apparently these two do have a bit of a history between them. Apparently they've trained together numerous times in California over the years, and sometimes stuff has got pretty heated between those two. So I think that adds a layer. I'm sure we'll hear them talk about it as fight week goes on and they appear at their media availabilities and stuff. So yeah, that's a great one. My only concern with this is Jalin Turner going to make weight? Can he make lightweight? He's had struggles. He missed weight the last time out against Dan Hooker, and that was a fight where he had a full camp, full preparation, fighting on a main card on International Fight Week. Like, you can't ask for a bigger position in your career than something like that. And to miss weight there was a bit of a red flag. And then now you're asking him to come in and hit lightweight when he wasn't in a camp. It's not like he was supposed to fight next week and they just moved up the timeline or something. So that's something, of course, we're going to have to ask him about and keep an eye on throughout fight week and on Friday at the weigh-ins. But if he can go in there and make weight and he's prepared and everything, perfect world scenario. But if he comes in and misses by 4 pounds or something on Friday, and we have to question, is Bobby Green going to take the fight against this overweight opponent, and have to go through that whole process. Of course, in hindsight, it might look like the wrong decision when some of these other guys out there would have hit the weight.
Yeah. And I guess you can reheat Gordon versus Green at any time and it'll be good. Gordon's status went up a little bit after that win in New York. Mike, isn't that kind of what happened with Wade and Bubba Jenkins? Was Wade was over, and so you're thinking along the lines of that? That could just cost the fight
it's
itself.
well within the right, but we know Bobby Green. Like, Bobby Green's probably going to take the fight unless he misses like 7 pounds or something crazy like that. But if it's 1 or 2, I'm sure he'll do it. But that's not the ideal scenario. He wants to make weight and wants to have this count towards all the lightweight records and all that stuff. So hopefully it's a non-issue for Jalin Turner and he goes in there and we get the proper fight, because this is a banger and a great matchup.